Peace and blessings. It's Gabrielle with Early Defined and the Mothers of Instincts. And I am streaming from YouTube and Facebook. Here, I'm talking to Facebook audience. If you look over here, talking to you. This one is Birthing Wisdom. And I just had the honor and privilege to be on one of the best radio blog shows that's out there to give a little bit of wisdom and understanding from personal experiences that my Creator, the Most High, has allowed me to be able to persevere through and endure and accomplish. And so I'm going to give you guys just a couple of the things that I believe we shared on the show, and then maybe some things that I didn't get a chance to share. Okay, it's really quick. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, but it's just some quick tips. Number one, of course, home birth is not for everyone, okay? If you do not decide to do a home birth, you're not in, okay? So home birth is not for everyone. Just like hospital births are not for everyone. You want to go with what you are most confident in doing, where you are going to be more comfortable at bringing life into this world. Okay, so don't feel don't feel beat down because you didn't choose to do a home birth or you're not comfortable with doing home birth. Okay, home birth is not for everyone, although that is an option that is available for everyone because once upon a time there were no hospitals. So delivering at home is what's natural and what's comfortable for me. Does not mean that it's what's natural and comfortable for you. So that's one tip. One thing I wanted to share is if it is for you, it is for you. If it is not for you, it is not for you. And I encourage you to be supported in whichever avenue that you choose because birth is for everyone. It is a process that every last one of us has been a part of, whether you are the one birthing or whether you are the one who has been birthed. Okay. Next thing is fear has to be dealt with. Okay. Both mommy and daddy has to deal with fear. Okay. It is a game changer. If you do not deal with the spirit of fear before entering into labor and delivery, you, especially you, mama, you will allow fear to determine pain being a part of your process. I like to share with people, especially sisters who are actually going through the labor process. When you don't have fear involved, your labor is shorter. It is peaceable. It's way more peace and it's less intense. You don't even experience pain. Okay. You hear a lot of women desiring to have a pain-free birth, have a fearless birth. And you will see that you really aren't having pain. You're just experiencing a different intensity that you've never experienced before. But if you remove and eliminate fear from your mind, fear from your spirit, you will see that you will actually enjoy the birthing process. I always share with the sisters, I think my favorite part of being a part of a new life is actually labor. I don't really care too much for the pregnancy part. It's the labor. And so it's kind of opposite for everybody else. They like, I enjoy the pregnancy. It's just the labor I have to get over. So if you get rid of fear, if you make fear not a factor, your labor experience will be so much better and beneficial for you. Okay. Um, and that's just from experience. I know when they use a lot of fear tactics in the hospital, you actually feel pain, and it's like intense. It's like, what is this? And it needs to stop. But when the pressures of fear are removed, you will see the difference. You won't need any medication. You won't need any of that. So fear has to be dealt with. The next thing is, don't have people who are not in agreement with your full process. If they're not in agreement with your total birth plan, you do not want them a part of your birth. You don't want them in the room if you're at the hospital. And you don't want them in your home if you're doing a home birth. And that can actually prolong your labor. I don't know if you guys have heard of the sphincter law. I think her name is Ina Mae Gaskins. And what she shared is very, very serious. I mean, it's to the T. You want to make sure that you only have people in there who are going to follow exactly what's written down on your birth plan. Okay? Hey, honey, what do you need?
I want some water.
You want some water?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Go ask Titi Jazz. She's in the kitchen. Ask her, can you have some water, please?
Yeah.
Okay. The next thing is, if you are going to choose a hospital birth, I recommend you getting a midwife or requesting a midwife instead of I think an OBGYN gynecologist. I think they're two different things, midwife, and then you have them. I suggest you get a midwife or a doula. Get you a doula. You need to have someone who can stand in and speak for you when you're unable to speak, who is educated in the area of childbirth. What's wrong? Did you go ask Titi Jazz? Go in there. Jazz, can you get Zizi some water, please? Yes. Thank you. Okay. So yes, you can have them as an alternative in the setting of a hospital. They actually work great at home as well. But I definitely recommend, if you are going to be in the hospital, to have either a midwife or a doula. Okay, they're going to stick to your birth plan. They're going to stick to your husband's requests, your husband's desires, and they're going to be able to communicate these requests and desires to the doctors and the nurses, because they will be educated on proper medical terminology, the proper interventions that may need to take place. They'll be able to properly communicate those concerns that the doctors may have. They'll be able to properly communicate that to you so that you can understand. I believe there are a lot of doulas who are not pro-vaccination. So if that is something that you are trying to deter, you want to definitely have a doula, because they will be educated along those lines. And they've been in different scenarios where they've had to deal with healthcare officials in that, setting, as far as not vaccinating children and being able to communicate the mom's and the dad's birth plan. So definitely suggest that. Also, if this is your first baby, or your first home birth, if that is what you're choosing to do, make sure you seek counsel, you seek wisdom from those who have done it already. Also seek counsel from, well, I guess ask questions. Go ask those who are the wise among you. Go ask them, is there anyone who's ever been in my situation where I have this, and this going on? Or has there been a sister who dealt with this before? Or has there been a family who had to experience this? Or, go to those who are over the, I guess, who would be considered the wise and the elders of your community, and go and ask them these questions so that they can properly direct you to the right person, the right people, or give you the right counsel for your situation. That way, you know which method and which mode, which route to take. And also, when they give you that wisdom, when they give you the understanding, make sure that you are obedient to it. Okay. Don't go and seek wisdom and then don't have the intentions on following through with the direction that they've given you. Make sure that you be obedient to whatever. You have to remember that a lot of times we go and we sit and we request wisdom and understanding from our elders, meaning our elder mothers, our foremothers who have been down this path before. We go seek this wisdom and understanding, and we're not careful to pay attention to how much time it went into them actually sitting down and giving us the understanding to what we're asking. Be mindful of the time that they're sharing this, and they're taking out of their time and day to share that with you. So hearken into it, be obedient, and continue to get understanding. So that way, when it comes to you actually having to go through the actual labor, you have already put up the obedience throughout that whole process, to where you're not about to pay the consequences for not being obedient. Okay. And then the last thing I have on here is, what is your situation? Know your environment. There are some things you may be able to do and some things you may not be able to do. So what I'm able to do here in Kentucky, or here in Tennessee, or here in Mississippi, or here in Kansas, or here in Missouri, or here in Utah, I may not be able to do in California. I may not be able to do in South Carolina. I may not be able to do in New York, all these different places. You need to know your environment, know your situation, know what's acceptable, what's unacceptable, before you make your decisions on where you'll have your birth, or who you will have there. Okay, so those are the, how many was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tips or nuggets of wisdom that I have pertaining to birthing. And I have many other videos that goes into in depth on the different settings. So you're more than welcome to go and look at the other videos to see if there's something else that you need to get. And I'm going to end this video right here so I can start the next one. Bless y'all. Please share. Shalom. Peace and blessings. If I look over here, I'm talking to Facebook.